into the blue. He's not up 1-0 or not tied, anything like that. I've just forgot what the scoreline is. He is for the Rebellion. Beyond.
And on the bottom left, it's Rogue. I need to pee really bad, so I'm going to be right back. That's why that intro is so quick. Bye-bye. Oh, no, I kicked up.
Well, you're welcome, YouTube, for that one. If you are watching this not live, but if you are live, I guess you're also welcome for the sweet sounds of Gemini running away and kicking things. Dragging himself, kicking and screaming into another match where there is actually a Protoss player. But for now, you know, we got some TVZ action, and I've never been more set. You know, sure, remove my co-caster for 10 to 15 minutes of a TVZ. It's fine. The game is hype and exciting. First 5 minutes, though, it's a-okay. But, you know, the one thing we've learned is, to quote chat from earlier, I think we know why Armani lost that game. It's because he did not build Zealots. Although that's actually, it says don't build, actually chat said don't build Stalkers, not build Zealots. So that is a reach. But, so this is the upper bracket winners match of Group C of the, of round 1 here of the qualifiers. So this is Beyond versus Rogue. Winner moves on into the qualifying match. Loser falls down to lower bracket for the first day, or the first round. Of course, there are technically four brackets here. You know, winner and losers of round 1, winner and losers of round 2. But you know, we're still in the upper bracket of round 1, so we're gonna have to see what Beyond and Rogue have in store for us. Beyond has been looking pretty good.
Excellent job of stalling.
Thank you. Now I don't have to stall it. Now Gemini can stall instead.
Yes, I have wireless earbuds, so I was able to hear everything you said while I was in the bathroom. It was excellently done, actually. I have to say, you successfully stalled for the perfect amount of time for me to come back to now also talk about basically nothing is happening in the game. It's about how that works.
Remember, early game TVZ is just a Seinfeld episode. It's a show about nothing.
When's the cameo of the person bursting through the front door of the apartment? Well, I want to see that part. That's a good part.
I think that's when the Zerg knocks the rocks down. The rocks are kind of like the door.
That's not that exciting, though.
You're right.
Where's Kramer? Is Kramer the Hellion drop that keeps happening every game? That's apparently happening yet again this game too.
This is so like for context here. This is round 1, upper bracket. So this is I think the first TVZ that Beyond played on the qualifiers. He may have played in the first round, I forget. So yeah, this is just how Beyond has decided to play today, I guess. I wonder whether it's like a counter meta thing, where it's like, look, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition, or no one expects the Hellion drop, so I'm gonna do it. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is not a Hellion drop. There's 7 Marines in this medevac.
Oh, that is a switch up.
Well, not really a switch up, because this is the first build he played on the qualifiers. But
well, in our perspective,
yes,
it's a switch up.
Hey,
but again, that's what I like the most. I do love these builds that you have a set of tools that look a certain way, but you can do certain things with them that throw things off. I love that. I do like builds like that. If I was a Terran player, I bet I'd be copying this build.
Yeah, but I'm not a Terran player, so I will not be copying this build. The really nice thing actually for Beyond here, he has got 2 Overlords in the span of about 30 seconds. Which means that Beyond has been just slightly supply blocked for a little bit of time. Here's the Queens are trying to fight. Notice he's keeping the medevac on the high ground, outside of the high ground vision that Rogue has. So the medevac is really not in any shape or form in danger. So the Marines can pretty much trade to infinity and beyond. I think the Hellions just ran into the main. Did they get anything? 7 links, not too much. We were focused on the drop instead. For shame, Observer, for shame.
I was looking at the Hellions because I knew that the Marine drop wasn't going to do anything. But yeah, the Hellions got surrounded pretty quick. The Lings were like right on top of them, killed off one immediately, and the other ones couldn't really get any room to breathe. So nice defense from Rogue. Very, very much. This is honestly much better than even how Armani defended it one of those other times, because Armani even took a while to even kill those initial Hellions and such. But this one is going quite well for Rogue here. And the Banshee is also going to just run into a Queen that was laying a creep tumor, so that's going to get deflected as well. So Bjorn's not really getting anything. He's grasping for even the smallest amount of damage he can find. That Ling is like some of the biggest damage he's gotten in the last like minute and a half or so.
Mm-hmm. You know, instead of being unstoppable, he's run-stoppable in this game.
He's what? Unstoppable?
Like impossible, run-stoppable. Anyway.
Run-stoppable?
Run.
Run-stoppable.
So, like...
What does that mean? Explain that one to me.
So, I'm not qualified to make this explanation because I grew up under a rock, but there was a cartoon called Kim Possible when I was growing up. And her sidekick, who was kind of useless, his name is Ron Stoppable, because the joke is she does stuff he doesn't.
Oh. Dude, I never made that connection as a kid.
Oh, he's gonna get. Yun's gonna get this base. Oh, never mind.
Nope. That was literally the opposite of what happened. I love how excited you were about that. That was really funny.
I looked at the. I was looking at the base health and not the Banshee health. I'm like, he's gonna. No. If he had a cloak, he would have gotten the base. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was very funny.
Now, actually, you know what? You talk about things that are counter to the meta. We got a Spire coming down. So we got the Serral style kind of 3-4 base Spire build. You get 1-1, then you get the Spire. And you know what? Whether or not this is the optimal way to play the game, I'm not really sure, but I do love me some Mutiling Bane, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, I do usually feel like I enjoy the Mutiling Bane games a little bit more. They just kind of feel more tense in general. I don't know, just like having the mutas going around and stuff like that just feels a little bit better whenever I watch it, in my personal opinion. Just feels like the other just only ground games, it's like feels like it's the same thing every time of just like never ending back and forth. Like sure, it's kind of cool, but it's also like, yeah, this is great, but isn't it like not matter until like 25 minutes later when there's ghosts and ultras and stuff? Like, I don't know. I feel like the Mutiling Bane games just like feel more epic. Nice little pickup here by Bjorn. Doesn't get surrounded. Very nice. We'll be able to get out of there. And the mutas are going to be coming out just a little bit here. Bjorn's got to be careful that these medevacs do not use up their boost cooldown while those mutas pop on them. And it looks like he'll be just fine to use that. So shouldn't be too bad. I wonder if he actually expects the mutas at all at this point, because he is being very aggressive with these medevac positions.
Well, I believe his 1-1 finished before the 1-1 of Rogue, which can be the tell that you're looking for. I mean, there are just heavily upgraded Link styles that get a delayed upgrade. But, on the high ground there, on the dead airspace.
Oh my god.
Well, he did get 2 mutas, so there is that.
I can't believe that one red health medevac didn't die immediately. That was crazy. I for sure thought he was just going to lose 8 Marines for nothing right there. Oh, but that's going to be a full medevac full of dead Marines. Yep. Bye-bye. See you later.
And I believe there was a drop out there. There was a drop removing creep on the left side, too. That looks like that has also been removed, at least the Marines from that. So all the pressure that Bjorn's been trying to put on, it's not really there. Sorry?
Rogue is suddenly at just 184 supply. I feel like this was like kind of even for a second there. For it was like 127 to like 130 or something for a bit with those mutas and stuff, and now it's just suddenly, yep, I'm Rogue and I'm maxed all of a sudden. Here we go. I'm gonna just run across the map now with my Ling Bane here.
Ooh, nice target.
Holy crap! What a fat shot! Jesus, that was insane. Cancels the 4th base, which is nice. I mean, Rogue's in a great spot. Seems like.
Look at this creep spread, by the way. He owns pretty much his entire half of the map, despite the pressure that Bjorn's been trying to put on for the last 5 or so minutes. The creep spread is pretty, I mean, it stopped here because there are rocks. It's kind of hard to get over it. But other than that, I mean, this creep spread has been unabated. Now, the one thing that Bjorn can be maybe happy about, there are not a lot of things to be happy about in this game, but the one thing that maybe he's got a shot is he has that 2-2 versus 1-1 timing. He will trade really well against the Ling Bane, assuming he's off creep, but the mutas are a great job of distracting from that. In fact, normally what we see when we see this muta tech is we see the muta player just kind of, the minute the Terran player moves out, they got run-bys into bases, they got mutas maybe on the other side, just, pinning the Terran back as much as they can. But Rogue, not quite in position for that one, so Bjorn will be able to posture on the edge of creep, but there's a big difference, Gemini, between posturing on the edge of creep and actually moving on to creep and doing something.
It's very true. As a Protoss player, I'm actually very familiar with that as well, especially since our units can't just stim once and then run away and be totally fine. We actually have to be cautious of where our units are.
Yeah, but like you can blink, and that's a teleport. It makes you run away immediately, and it's not like, you know, you get trapped by Zerglings immediately afterwards, but you can blink. Look how fast charge lots are when they're running at the enemy.
At the enemy. When they're suiciding into the banelings, they're so strong.
Ooh,
it's crazy.
That's 11 shots on 11 Zerglings on that Widowmine. That's juicy, but not going to stop the banelings. Oh no, the banelings.
Oh
in
my
the
god,
third.
the door's open. He just lets him right in.
Oh well.
Oh!
All the humanity. I love it. Rogue had too many banelings on that push, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna wipe out the third base, but or the wipe out the economy at the third, but you know, I got banelings left over, so let me try to run to the natural. I mean, it's not gonna work, but it was a good idea. The Thor is gonna try to do what it can, but it's only one Thor. It takes 3 shots to kill a muta at this point. It's not gonna get in time for 3 shots. Nice splits there from Beyond on the backside, though. He will knock down the rest of those banelings, but Rogue's on 91 drones. He is up on army supply against a pushing Terran. Yeah, that's about all I need to say about that one.
It's really bad as a Terran player when you, I mean, you can't see this, but it sucks when that's a nice Widowmine shot though. It sucks when the army supply literally doesn't even go below like 195. Like they're literally just like remaxing as fast as units are dying every single second. So it's like it doesn't even go below 190, and you're just dipping down to 150.
We're gonna have to see whether Bjorn here can unyeet himself, can pull himself back into it as Naper left. It's the aforementioned player, Bjorn.
Bottom right road.
Wow.
I told you, I hate intros.
Well, this is true. Instead, we should be talking about
really
the fact that Berlingrad has amazing dogs.
Yo, fun fact. Did you know that if you do the spam click to kill them, because they can get annoying and block your stuff, if you do that, it actually, on this map only, it creates a small divot in the ground that units actually path through, and it actually messes it up a little bit.
Wait, so...
Did you know that?
I did not. So if you spam, like, if you spam click on the dog and the dog dies...
Yep.
There's a little, like, trench in the ground afterwards?
Yep.
Huh.
I did that literally the first game I played on this map when it came out, because, like, everyone was making memes about the critters and stuff, and everyone was talking about spam clicking them in again, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll do that for fun. I get the map, and then I do it, and it's in the middle of my mineral line, and so I kill it. And it literally, there's just a giant hole in the middle of my mineral line, and my probes are like going through it and stuff. I'm like, what in the world am I looking at right here? I'm losing like 1 million minerals from this. This is crazy. It eventually goes away after a little bit, but it's like, yeah, it's still, don't actually kill the dog if it's in the middle of your mineral line.
Blizzard QA, man. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the Beckett bug, where if you spawn on Zerg on the bottom side, you're just dead even more than you already are dead in Beckett. But, you know, because you just
Wait, what?
You actually, how'd it work? I forget. You have to place your buildings in kind of a certain way because the mineral patches were messed up, specifically for Zerg for whatever reason. So you wouldn't get optimal mining. So you had to. Oh, how did it work?
On Beckett?
Yeah, on Beckett. On the south spawn. And I
feel like I remember that happening in a different map.
I had that map totally vetoed, so I can't remember how it works. By the way, look at this vision that Rogue's got in this game too. He just has every path at 2:30 in the game scattered out. But the Reaper's gonna get by anyways.
I feel like that was like Everdream or like Death or something like that.
No,
I
it was
hearing about that way back.
Maybe that was too, but it certainly was a case with Beckett. Because that's why you would see these weird pool first openings on Beckett from like Serral. And you know, granted, Beckett
not
at a 20
because the map was
second.
puny as hell.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like pool first against Terran. Which, you know, sometimes can be a thing, but like you go pool first and then the Zerglings wouldn't run across the map as hey, you know, pool first. You talk about pool first. We get one from Rogue here. We didn't even talk about it, but he will get an STV on the low ground. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they got the bunker and everything. So it's like, as we're talking about this, we finally have like a different Zerg opener. It's like, yeah, actually, there's early lings out, and they're trying to go across the map. Doesn't really do too much, I guess. Oh, the Reaper, nice little pick off there, pretty good. And once again, we got the medevac Hellion meme.
I like memes. They are not my dreams, but look at this. We got Rogue, a bit of an adaptation here. Game number 2. We got some roaches coming out. He's going to be a roachy boy, and well, he's not He's not dark. Excuse me. He is Rogue.
He's literally Rogue.
He's going Rogue. It's a Rogue build.
Nice.
There we go. But he is he does enjoy his roaches on occasion. Not quite the dark connoisseur, but close enough.
Yep. I wonder if it'll work.
Interesting. Actually, you talk about doing the same thing over again. Bjorn's got that same build. You know, the 7 Marine, or I guess 6 Marines this time. Not sure why he has skipped 1 Marine. But, you know, 6 Marines and a medevac. Sorry?
No, it did not die. I was going to say maybe it died of the early lings, but it did not. So, I was wrong. Sorry.
How dare you?
That's my analysis for today. You can see how much I don't know about this matchup when that's my contribution in the first 5 minutes.
I mean, don't worry. This is a weird build. This is a weird setup here. We got 6 Marines and Hellions into a Hellbat timing with Cloak Banshees against Roaches, which have not... Actually, the Roach Form is not canceled, but it's just Lings being made in defense, which is fine because, you know, Marines. If you just got this drop pressure. Actually, sorry, the Roaches were made. Ravager's on the middle of the map here, so Rogue... you know, this push that Bjorn's been making has absolutely whiffed on scouting anything. Now the Banshee's going to see it, which means that this is going to get just about negative damage done. The Banshee is going to knock down one of these Ravagers before it even finds the wall. And with these Marines coming on in, I mean, this is not going to do all that much. Lings are going to get pretty hard countered here by the Hellions. And yeah, the Natural's going to be... Actually, I'm really surprised this Natural's have not been lifted and SCVs haven't been brought into the main. But Hellbats are here, which means... Yeah, this is not going to get too much done here, Gemini.
Dude, if he put that bile slightly to the left where those SCVs were going to rally to, that would have been sick. But unfortunately, he tried to go for like all the Marines and stuff, and Bjorn just kind of microed away from it. So not the greatest situation for Rogue. I mean, I'm not a TVZ expert, and I definitely do not watch these types of Roach Ravager Ling attack games nearly as often as other people would. So can't really know exactly how terrible of a situation this is for Rogue, but I mean, surely this shouldn't be a great situation, especially that Spore's not even done. He's gonna lose a Queen even.
Oh, nice. Did he not have energy for Transfuse on any? Nope. No, he did not. That was the high energy Queen. The really interesting thing that Bjorn has done in this game, out of many different weird things, he's gone for a 3rd Banshee, and you almost never see that. Because of course 2 Banshees 1-shot workers, so it really doesn't make sense to get a 3rd one unless you're trying to like build them as part of your army. You know, there are like 2-port speed Banshee memes and things like that, but in general you don't get it. So I guess the play here, he wanted to send the Banshees across the map, knock off some workers as a Banshee will barely stay alive, and then still have that 1 defensive Banshee at home in case there are just kind of follow-up Roach pressure. So I guess that's the idea. But look at this, Bjorn, he does have his 3rd base underway. So never mind. I was going to say something about adding a bunch of additional barracks, which he's doing, but it's not an all-in. And for now, though, the game's going apace. Now, Rogue, by the way, because of just the pressure he's put on, his creep spread is really good through the center of the map here. Berlingrad, it's a small one. So he is almost, like, his creep spread is almost getting into the 3rd base position that Bjorn's eventually going to want to take.
Unfortunately, Bjorn actually lost a Banshee, the low health one, because he was trying to skirt them out on the edge, but the Queens were actually still in position, so he actually lost it. So not that great right there. The Banshee harass wasn't able to do a massive amount of damage. Did a little bit, which is nice, but losing that Banshee always stinks. What was I about to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah, there's a +1 ship, like vehicle, like being researched on the Armory pretty early. I feel like am I wrong there? I feel like we don't normally see that being researched so fast.
No, you normally get so if you're going Widow Mines, certainly you don't get anything in that armory all that quickly for the most part. Yeah. But generally it's like +1 with 2/2. But you know, normally you'll get with Widow Mine play, you'll get armor with tanks. It does make sense to get that +1 attack. But I think the reason we're seeing this here is Bjorn has pretty correctly identified that this is going to be a Roach game. This is going to be 1/1 Roach, something like that. And anything you can do to just take some of the bulk out of that push is good. Bjorn has not knocked any. This creep spread is into his 3rd base. And now it's gonna get cleaned up now, but that's a little bit spooky when we see this big mass of roaches moving across the map.
Yep, that was a good clear though. That got a lot of creep tumors for that 1 scan, so that was pretty good. But yeah, I guess he is going Roach Ravager, so that is a smart play to know that you're going to be investing into the tanks so much versus that. So getting that early +1 attack for them is definitely going to be valuable. So that's very good since he did get that early armory anyway for the Hellbats. So we'll see how well this is able to do here. The Banshees are going to go off into the bottom here. So the good thing about getting that extra defensive Banshee is that now, even though that one Banshee did die to the Queens, we are able to pair up the other two anyway. So they're still going to be a bit lethal if there's nothing ready to help defend against them. There are quite a few spores all over the place, though.
Those poor Banshees, they run at the fourth base, they're like, we're going to kill some drones. And then there's nothing there because actually Rogue's only on 65 drones. He's not committing to anymore. He's just, maxing out here on Roach Ravager. Of course, the trick with Roach Ravager is we talk about Ling Bane being incredibly supply efficient. Roach Ravager is super, money efficient to get that supply, but it's not supply efficient in the slightest here. Beyond going to look to stim on top of this. And these tanks are shredding things here. So many of these Roaches are dying immediately. There is, the Link Flag actually getting on top of these tanks, but not going to be enough. So the army on the right side is going to get stimmed on. All the Ravagers are going down, at least a lot of them. And yeah, the Roaches on the left are doing something, knocking these tanks down. But this was not the push that Rogue was looking for, I don't think. The Ravagers, they're still alive, kind of, but not for very long. The Lings are going to run in, and that's going to force Beyond to not do too much. Now, the upside is there's only one tank on the map right now. The downside is there is nothing that deals with these Banshees, so these Ravagers are, in fact, dead. They're like dodos.
They're like what?
Dodos, dead.
Oh, I thought you said Dota for a second. I was like, you're gonna call Dota of all games dead? Like, damn, bro. That's
no, they're
ambitious.
like StarCraft. Wait, what?
Yeah, there you go. Sad. So yeah, I mean, that attack honestly looked like it was going to be good for a second there when that Ling and Roach counter like flank or whatever went onto those tanks. Was pretty good. But yeah, the bio jumping onto the Ravager Roach on the right side was really good out of Beyond. That was definitely what he needed right there. He's going to try to go through the middle now, trying to lead or to continue on with this momentum that he has gained for himself. But it's always definitely very scary to attack into a Roach Ravager player, considering that their whole game plan is to attack. They're always going to be on that the relatively low drone count. It's the 76 drone Zerg on 4 bases compared to the 91 Ling Bane Muta we saw last game. So the Zerg's always going to be having a large army presence. So it's always a bit scary to try and go and just kind of push down the middle there. You really kind of have to weather the storm a bit of a couple of these waves until you can then really jump on everything. And so Beyond is definitely being a bit cautious there. There's a pretty big Ling attack on the right side that could do a decent amount of damage. There is a sensor tower that's going to give him the notice that it's there, but it's not really that early. He's attacking stuff in the middle of the map anyway, so that's going to deal some stuff. Annoying for sure, but Beyond's actually just going to jump on top of this army in the middle here. I'm not sure about that one.
I mean, there is this timing, right? Traditionally, when the Terran kind of hits 2-2, 170 supply, it means the Roaches are invalidated. They don't count anymore. They don't do anything. But what I really love what Rogue is doing in this game. He's kind of, he's not in a great spot. Let's not beat around the bush. But he's kind of doing that Dark idea where we start to see Dark do similar things. You go 1-1 Roach, you put pressure on, you kind of keep the Terran at home, and then you do a pretty quick transition into Hive. You get Lurkers, you get Hydras, and you thought +0, +1 Lurkers are scary, +2 Lurkers, +3 Lurkers are even more so. So the Lurkers are done. Banshees actually kind of sit on top of this once the Queens go down. There are no Hydras. And with the 7 tanks here, all with +2, excuse me, not even plus. You got +3 vehicle attack coming in as well, which is not something you see at this point in the game. Even more so than we see the early +1. But Ivers are going to show up now. No blinding clouds, just the yoink, just the abduct. And 1 tank will go down, 2 tanks go down. And Rogue's doing a great job of sandbagging this. Meanwhile, the Zergling counterattack on the right side is really committing to it now. No SCVs have died just yet, but we will start to see Beyond maybe get supply blocked here. The bio, though, the rally is going to do more than enough. The base is starting to fall into pressure here. Lurkers, though, they do not have range. They're just really fast. This base looks like it will stay alive for the time.
It's actually kind of interesting. Do you usually go for the burrow speed thing instead of the range first? Because I feel like the range is almost more useful when you're knowing that you're going to be sitting and defending the whole time anyway. You're not trying to go on the offensive with the faster burrow speed and stuff like that. Is that a mistake, do you think?
No, it really depends on what you're doing. Like the default, if you just want to have kind of equal opportunity attack defenses, you get burrow speed. because it lets you reposition a lot easier. So if you have a player like Bjorn, who
True.
you're pretty sure is going to, certainly at this point in the game, once the lurker's out, is going to try to out multitask you. Because that's just really who Bjorn is. Having those lurkers that can burrow and move all over the place is really useful. If you know it's going to be a player that I don't like, maybe Dream, who is just going to go for that straight up push, it does make more sense to have Seismic Spines to come on in. Also, if you're getting close to a break, you can go and just kind of burrow on top of the tanks. Now we got to push from Bjorn here on the middle of the map. Blinding Clouds are going to get dropped on the bio just to give these lurkers more time to shoot, but the tanks are kind of the problem. Even that's a great Blinding Cloud on top of these tanks, and they will prevent the lurkers from going down for a time. But there's nothing to do. There's nothing to add on to this. The lurkers, yeah, they're powerful, but they're like tanks. They're positional units. The bio is uncontested. GG. Bjorn's going to tie things up. Brocaster moves.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, you talk about interesting stuff. We got some SCVs running out. Well, actually, no. I thought I saw 2 moving out. And I thought, I'm like,
No, there's a second one. There's a second
there we go. There we go.
It's coming.
I'm right. Actually, yes. No, I'm left. I'm left in the overlay. I'm not right. You're the one on the right. Never mind. It's fine.
Nice. We're back to reaching.
Again, I feel the need to stretch. It's like it's a good time. That being said, it's gonna be 2 reacts coming out from Bjorn.
I just saw a waypoint from Rogue right on top of where these barracks are. He's gonna see that with the second Overlord.
Actually, he's gonna see with this drone, I think. Yeah, he's gonna see with the drone.
Oh, is that the drone, not the Overlord? Okay.
Well, actually, no.
Nice.
It's going to move on the far side of the line of sight blocker.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, because I thought it was the Overlord, so I thought it was
there we go.
going to do
Never
it
mind.
anyway. Okay.
Okay. No.
XD.
For a second, I'm like, oh no,
Yep,
he
scouted.
drone scouted and he doesn't see the 2-rack. This is actually worse than not scouting at all. But no, it scouts it. In
Yep.
fact, SCV RNG isn't going to be good enough. Looks like that answer is yes. So the barracks will go down, or we'll get up. One of them will, but the second one. Ooh, nice body block there. So that's not even going to come. A third SCV has.
Oh, the first one. The first one is the finish. Oh, but the next one. Oh.
Well, still,
Damn,
I mean, this is
that
massive.
next SCV.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, but
did
if
we
that
get-
next SCV wasn't coming, that would have been
Wait.
huge.
Oh, he's gonna. Jeez, he's gonna done that.
Nice.
Yeah, he's gonna cancel that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Be instead. Like.
It feels not great. It feels not great to say basically. I mean, we were
Yeah.
told these games are bangers. First game was not really a banger. Game 2 was not really a banger either. Am I gonna be honest? So I mean, we're left with game 3 here, and it starts off like that. It doesn't look like a banger. So based off of our information that we know, which is usually more than you would ever know about a game of StarCraft when you're casting it, I'm gonna have to go ahead and maybe make a prediction that this game is not gonna end very, very one-sidedly. Let's hope that insider info we have is actually correct.
I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret, Gemini. The insider info was that it was a 2-1 and therefore probably a banger. That's about all we got.
Wow, the series has all 3 games played in a best of 3 equals banger.
It's beyond Rogue.
I think me and the provider of this information have different definitions of the word banger.
Yeah, some people think it's a great game of StarCraft. Some people think it's a sausage. I think this series is closer to the sausage definition than the great games of StarCraft that we had. Oh, who knows? Beyond might make an incredible comeback. The game might go 30 minutes. But he's going to deny the third for a time.
For a moment, when the other drone just goes to the other one.
Yeah, you know what? Eternal Empire was a great map, but I'm so glad it's gone because you just see the Terran just park an SCV on the only viable third and put the Reaper on afterwards. Like, yeah, good luck. You don't get to expand. Because you're not like the triangular third on that map was just not viable at all.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that Terrans can't abuse maps nearly as hard for just the early game. The whole just taking the Zerg out of the game before the game even gets started.
Yeah, I do kind of miss that map a little bit though.
It's a great map in general.
Yeah, I do like those high ground. I did like that high ground third, just setup in general. Made me feel really good whenever the Zerg was trying to YOLO up into me with a bunch of just Hydraling Bane, and I was just laughing at them with a bunch of Force Fields and Colossus and Stalkers. It was great.
It also enabled the Estrella build, which was like you take the natural at the third, you wall up the natural, and you get like a 3-minute 3 Nexus idea.
Oh yeah.
It was glorious.
Right. It didn't. Did it really work on that map though?
No, Eternal Empire. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one. The only map he did that build on, at least that I remember. Because you could get a one gateway wall on where the rocks were, and you would wall that kind of small choke, and then you would just kind of wall off the third, and you'd be totally fine. You get like really quick 3 Nexus.
I don't remember seeing him do that on that map. Crazy.
I think it was against Zerg too. He's in part like that.
It had to be against Zerg.
Yeah,
doing that versus anyone else would be suicide.
I mean, yeah, probably. Because yes, also the Zerg would go scout the lack of a third base or a lack of a natural at the natural and freak out and kind of overcommit, and it's like, I got a 3-minute third, and you have built stuff that doesn't help you here. Great, you're dead. Have fun.
Stray has a very big brain. He has the newest signature series that just came out yesterday too, by the way. So everyone needs to go watch that on the ESL channel as this Hellion drop gets absolutely slapped away. Does literally nothing. Yeah, go search up the Estrella signature series. It's super good. It's the best quality content you will ever find in StarCraft, and it's so criminally underviewed. So please go find that and go watch it and share it to everyone that you know. Excellent, wonderful. Hellion drop does nothing.
Yeah. And by the way, it should be noted here that this is the latter version of Hardwire. This is not the TLMC 15 version. So I don't believe that. I believe the rocks are not fixed. So technically, you can fit tanks on here. Not that really matters at this point in the game, but
the cliff, you mean?
Yeah, the cliff. I don't believe it's fixed on the latter version.
Yeah. I wonder if Beyond even knows that is a thing.
I mean, probably. These are pro players after all.
Yeah, but it's like, it's such a thing that you don't expect to be a bug that you just don't bother even checking a lot of times. I feel like sometimes, like as pro players, there's a Liberator actually getting some nutty damage in the main that was insane. Yeah. That got like 6 drones by itself. Yeah. I feel like you don't always check those things, and then like, you know, we saw it from on Reddit or whatever that someone posted about it, but it's like, I wonder if he actually does know though, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what gets posted on Naver, but you know, I'd imagine. And then you have Obsidian bugs, which, you know, poor Solar.
Oh yeah, that's it exactly. That's what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like, Parting is going to research that, of course, but not every other Korean player. It's why, because you just don't expect that to be a thing. So it's just like, yeah, you know, why would you try to test to see if the tanks can be dropped on the Reaper ledge?
Yeah, you know, unpopular opinion here. If it exists, I have no problem with a player figuring it out and keeping it a secret until it happens. It's on
I agree.
It's like people got mad at Parting for doing that. It's like
that's the stupidest thing ever.
No, it's like if it exists in the game, it is legal. Unless it explicitly is allowed, but yeah.
That's entirely on GSL for not vetting their pool, their maps.
And honestly, like, who's gonna check that
for GSL?
Bye bye. No more Gemini cast. It's fine though. Beyond gonna look at. There we go. I mean, melee speed is not done for a while, so Beyond is gonna look to push on in here. But by the way, I think this was a 2-on-1 setup because he only has +1 attack, not +1 armor. So you got to kind of down and upgrade just a little bit. That means this push is a lot less powerful than it looks at first glance. And honestly, it doesn't look all that powerful at first glance either. So I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, granted, his 2 racks didn't work, so he's already behind. But
yeah, that's fair. We kind of forgot about the fact that even happened. I actually did as well until you said that. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty clean defense from Rogue at the beginning here, so anything is going to be difficult for Beyond as we head into here. The Baneling speed is not even done yet though, so that's helpful for Beyond to snipe these off before they really connect. But this next one is going to connect as he's worried about a little bit of a Ling counterattack happening across the map, so that's going to connect pretty good with some of those Marines there. Baneling speed is now done, but this fifth base will get killed off, so Beyond is getting some amount of productivity from this attack, but there's a massive swell from the top side, a huge flank getting set up by Rogue, and it's going to be very effective as it gets on top of all those Marines. But a lot of those Lings are actually dying pretty quick here. The Banelings were a bit late to join the party, so does lose a few Lings for that, but will dislodge the attack entirely. Loses the 5th base again, as we said, so we'll have to remake that. But Beyond was looking for a little bit more than that, we think, considering the fact that 3rd base is not even finished, let alone landed over in its position.
I was going to say, Gemini, I got 3 things for you. A, that was the 5th base dead. There's the 3rd base not even done yet, not even landed. B, this is 1-1 Lings versus 0-0, so they actually traded pretty well there, a lot better than you would expect. And C, there is no C. And because this is not the other C for this is Rogue. And he's
Burbanes.
Oh. Bro. Oh, I got like nothing.
That was okay.
It was a cool idea.
I think you kind of messed that one up though.
And, you know.
I think actually just unburrowing them and running them in would have actually done more.
In general, that's the better play. Because you'll let the aggro work a little bit better. But anyways, we will see this round coming on in. Bailey's actually getting on top of the tank, which means Beyond wins this fight. He does have 1-1 now, not just +1. So his Marines, they live just a little bit longer until 2-2 is going to be done for Rogue. Beyond on the drop on the right side, also unsuccessful. With losing all those Banes does give Beyond a little bit of a tempo lead. There is 0 Banelings on the map right now. He's going to find his way into the 4th base, but 15 Banes just about done. +2/+2 is done, which means honestly, these Lings can just kind of fight the Marines here for the most part. Liberators are going to look to siege on up, but Liberators against Zerglings are kind of a meme. It's each 50 minerals for 2 Lings, and Liberators only kill 1 at a time. There's something, but not nearly what you're looking for here. Looks like the 5th base will go down again for Beyond. Will be. Oh no, he's not. He's not going to get that. It's going to live.
Or will it?
7 HP.
You were so confident in that call. Oh my gosh! Imagine getting absolutely destroyed like that by Rogue. Wow.
2 times in two times in this series even. Twice now. Rogue has saved a 7 HP base.
I'm glad I'm not Beowulf right now. Wow. All right. I mean, Rogue is sitting really well, really pretty. This 3rd base for Beyond is only just now even getting fully saturated at this point. We're setting up a pretty big Ling Bane counterattack. Nope, he's just going to burrow a Ling and run away. Never mind. He's just going to come back home. Nothing's happening there, actually. We're at 170 supply to just now getting to 120 for Beyond. I've resorted to just looking at numbers because that's how much I feel like this game is over. But again, I'm not a Zerg player or a Terran player, so perhaps my analysis is completely off and I'm just making a fool of myself.
I am a Zerg player, and I can tell you this game is pretty much over.
Thank you.
You want to know how you can tell how over this game is? Rogue is going Ultras.
Oh, yeah. What if we have Ultra into lose?
You know what? It's happened
What if
before.
this is the banger?
What if this is the banger? I don't know. I mean, sometimes you do see a Zerg go Ultra from a winning position, and they lose because Ultras are really not good units unless you have a big tempo lead. But guess what? It's gonna be 3-3 Ultras versus 2-2 Bio, or sorry, 3-5 Ultras versus 2-2 Bio, and
2-1 Bio, because that +2 is
yeah. But by the time 3-3 is done, +2 armor is gonna be done.
I see. I get you.
I tell the future, Gemini.
I'm a Protoss player. I don't see in the future. I only see the now.
You have oracles, of course. You see in the future. No response, as expected. There we go. It's fine. Sorry, not as expected, as is deserved, because that was terrible. Ultras are starting to hit the field now. Bjorn he's getting his 4th base in 12 minutes. He is above 150 supply. He is getting ghosts out. I'm looking for some level of coping because there are more Banes than Marines on this right side of the map. Nice splits, though, actually. Taking a couple Banes out of the side of things. But we're about to hit this timing where ghosts are not in the field yet. Ultras are going to be. And they're going to be large, in charge. And there's no other part of that saying. But they're going to be large and in charge. And looking to roll on through things.
Oh, my God. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be saying, man. I mean, sure, Beyond's doing what he can, right? He's sitting back, just doing whatever he can with some little tiny Marine pokes here and there just to get any semblance of map control and whatnot. I mean, they're getting deflected, rightfully so. But I mean, Beyond literally just has to sit here, right? He has to sit back. He has to wait and hope to God that he can get some sort of insane, efficient engage. He doesn't even have a PF at his 4th base, by the way. I wonder if that was either a mistake or if he's just I am so far behind in economy that I just need every mule and scan that I can. And it's kind of interesting because it kind of just goes against what I'm saying where he just needs to defend. But regardless, this massive Bane Ultra Force is going to go to the right, and it's, granted, not really an efficient trade, but it's setting up the left side to do even more damage, and that's going to be where that is found, as a lot of these SCVs are getting killed. A lot of the Lings and Banes are also going to get killed here, though. So, It's only going to be 200 to 114 supply. So
Yeah, but
I was about to. I was literally about to say the game could be over, and then it ended.